So today, guys, we're going to talk about the 2025 Camry XLE. You have 4 different trim levels in the Camry. You have your LE model, which is going to be your base. You have the SE, your XSE, and your XLE here. So this particular model is in the Reservoir Blue. So if you've never seen the Reservoir Blue, guys, this is one of the most exciting colors in the Camry lineup. So I'm going to talk to you about that vehicle and what's going to be different between this one versus your XSE. So this is your 9th generation Camry. As you look across the front here, it does have a very distinct sort of look here. This is a look that you're going to see on the LE model as well. And your main difference in this model is it's going to be high-end model, so you're going to throw in your leather, certain things like that, certain other options that are going to be available to you on this model that you're not going to see on the LE. So this particular model here is going to be a very unique look, guys. So as you see on the right-hand side right here, it's going to give you more of a sort of a diamond look. And as you make your way across the front side of this vehicle here, it's going to give you more sort of a rectangular sort of look. So a horizontal look versus the honeycomb grille like you're going to see in the XSE. You're going to have your functional air curtains here on the left and the right. So that's going to help with that airflow around the car. Now, as we make our way to the driver's side, this particular model does have your 18-inch wheels here. So very distinct alloy look here with your black accents on the inside of the wheels here. This particular model here is a 235 45 R18. So the tire is not too beefy, not like you're seeing on the LE model, guys, but it still does give you a sporty feel. Your color key mirrors here, as you can see, with your integrated turn signal. Now, your blind spot monitoring is going to be standard on the Camry model, so that's something you're going to see across the lineup here. Now, you're going to have your color key handles here, color key door handles with your automatic lock and unlock. You're not going to have that on the back. It's only on the front. So as we make our way around to the back side of the car, your LED lights are standard on the front and the back. Notice you do not have your sensors on the back here. That's because you have to go to the Premium Plus package to actually get those. And that's going to add a few other options that I'll be explaining to you lately. As I said before, this is a XLE. Now, you can get a overlay, which is going to turn those emblems black, guys. But on this particular model, it really doesn't give you much. But, I mean, it is available to you. So across the lower diffuser here on the back, it is a gloss black diffuser. And by the way, guys, you can use 87. You don't have to use 93. Really no benefit to that. As we make our way to the inside of the vehicle, you do have a black color interior here. You have a ash color or a light gray interior as well. So there's no third color choice like you had in your previous 8th generation Camry. You do have an 8-way adjustable seat here. So 6 ways on the front there. And then you have your 2 lumbar positions there. You're going to have your hard touch material here. You're going to get more of an ultra suede sort of look here across that. So this particular model has your traditional sort of positions here for your side mirrors here. Of course, you have your window lock and your door locks right here as well. Now, if you go with the upper models, like in the Premium Plus package, you're going to get your memory seats and stuff like that, guys, but it is not standard on the Camry XLE. Now, making our way further to the inside, you do have your all-weather mats. That's something that we normally do without a port, guys. So it's the same cost as the carpet mat, so we add those. It's a better look. Plus, like I said, it's easier to actually keep that vehicle clean. Take those mats out, wash them off, and it's nice and easy to keep those clean. As we make our way up here, you're gonna see things that are associated with your Toyota safety sets. So, by the way, the Camry does have your latest Toyota safety set, so 3.0. So, but you have your automatic high beam lights here. You have your traction control, so that's part of your start safety system, right? You're gonna have the dimming of your lights there in the dashboard. You have your trunk release and your gas door release. So no longer is it on the floor, guys. So they've raised it up here to the dash level. You have your release right here for your steering wheel, where you can adjust that if you like. It would be nice on the XLE model to actually have a power adjustment there. So anytime you adjust those memory seats, then the steering wheel will adjust itself as well. But that is not an option, guys. But that's neither here nor there. You do have your automatic high beam lights, as I mentioned before. So make sure you're going to put that on automatic. Don't push it forward, just leave it in that setting right there, and it automatically raises and lower as you come across headlights, taillights, and lamp lights. Now, your heated steering wheel is standard, but it's not located here, guys. It's going to be located over here, and I'll show you where that positioning is later on. But as you look at the left-hand side of the steering wheel, so this is going to be a traditional look that you're going to see on a lot of updated Toyota models. So you're going to have your Bluetooth here. You're going to have a go back from a sub menu to a main menu. This right here is going to allow you to actually navigate your MID screen, and that's going to be a 12.3-inch display there. Now, as you go down, that's going to be your volume control here. You have your voice command, so you'll be able to tune your radio. You'll be able to change the AC, change the temperature control, fan speed, but you'll also be able to press that down for about 3 seconds and access your Google Assist or either your Siri. Now, as we make our way to the right side of the steering wheel, that's where you're going to find our adaptive cruise control. You can go between your adaptive and your constant. The difference is one brakes and one doesn't. You have your settings button right here, so where you can set those. You have your lane keep assist, right? That's something new that you're seeing on Toyota Safety Assist 3.0, right? You have your cancel right here, so if you just want to cancel that cruise control, you can go up 1 mile per hour at a time or down 1 mile per hour at a time. And then you have your distance right here. So no longer is it 3 car lengths, but for the Toyota Safety Sense, it's going up to 4 car lengths, guys. So you have your arrows to the left and right. That's going to help you with your changing of your presets. Now, this particular model, all your XLEs and the XSEs, is going to be standard with a 12.3-inch display there. That means you're going to have 8 presets instead of your normal 6 on your smaller screens. But with this arrow button right here, you'll be able to go between those as you set those radio stations, those presets. Now, your mode button, 2 different functions. You can press and hold the mode button. That's going to mute or pause the radio or a phone call. Or you can press it once and go between your AM, FM, XM, which is complimentary for 90 days on all your new Toyota models. Now, as we make our way to the right here, so no rain sensing wipers, anything like that. That's something you're going to see on some of your packages there. And by the way, guys, on the XLE and the XSE, you're going to have 2 different packages. You're going to have your premium package and you're going to have your premium plus package. And that's going to start, you're going to start to get into your heated seats, your ventilated seats, upgraded audio and things like that, okay? Now, your push button start is standard, okay? Here, that's going to be your volume control. And as I mentioned before, the 12.3-inch display is standard on the XLE and on the XSE. You're going to have your automatic adjustment for your AC. So anytime you hit that automatic, guys, if you basically lower that AC or raise that heat, it's going to ramp up that fan. So you hear that fan start to ramp up. Hear that fan starting to ramp up? Now, if I adjust it here, it's going to ramp that fan down. You hear that? Or I can basically just adjust the fan speed and that's going to knock that off, right? And no matter what I adjust the temperature to, the fan is going to stay consistent. So your heated seats are standard, whether or not you go with the XLE or the XSE. As I mentioned before, once you go to your different packages, your premium package or your premium plus, then you pick up your ventilated seats, okay? You can turn that off and you can turn it on using the fan, okay? You do have 2 zones. As you can see, you have 66 and you have the lowest setting. Now, if I want to sync that, hit the sync button here, and now the passenger syncs with the driver's side and it becomes a single zone again, okay? Front defrost, rear defrost. There's your heated steering wheel right there, okay? You can go to an auto setting. You can go to a high, low, and an off, okay? So like I said, no longer is that heated steering wheel over here. It's actually going to be right there. So if you're not seeing it, guys, make sure that you turn your vehicle on and you'll see it right in there on your XLE and on your XSE. Now, further to the right here, this is going to be your recycled air. You're going to have your AC button. And this button right here is something you're seeing on a lot of vehicles with multiple zones. That's going to be your smart flow. So your smart flow is going to shut zones off that are not being occupied. So if your vehicle has a vent in the back and you're not feeling any air coming through that vent, make sure you hit this button right here and turn that off. Therefore, that frees that zone up, okay? So it has the lights. That's something you're going to see on all Toyota models, all vehicles actually. That's government mandate. So if you look down further here, you're going to see your hotspot for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is a wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you can tether it right in here to get a tethered sort of uninterrupted stream, guys. But just understand, anytime you unplug that, that's going to interrupt that Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, okay? But you don't have to plug it in. So you're going to have your USB-Cs here, so you have 2 of those. And you have a standard wireless charging. That's across the board in all your Camry models. So plenty of space right in here. A couple of spaces for drink. You have your traditional shifter right here, your park, reverse, neutral drive, and your S plus and S minus. I've heard somebody before say that's your sports mode. This is what they call sequential shifting, okay? And what that does is whenever you put it in drive, you can shift it over, and that will actually change gears, okay? So as you shift down, you see that goes all the way up, okay? It's going to go all the way up to 6, okay? So we're going to put that back in park. All right, as we make our way further down, you have your Eco, your Normal, and your Sport. That's your different sort of intervals that valve opens up here. what forces basically air through the system to be either produce horsepower or cut back on horsepower to conserve fuel. So your eco is going to be your best sort of option if you're going on longer trips, guys. So keep that in mind. Your normal is automatic selection, and then your sport, if you're actually out on the highway or something like that and you need that acceleration, that's what's going to give you the best acceleration. So because this is a hybrid, all your Camrys are hybrid in your 9th generation, you're going to hit this EV button right here. As long as you have sufficient charge on the battery, let me show you where to find that. So you're going to find that like right in here. Let's see if it actually, so you have different presets that you can go between on the 12.3-inch display there. If you don't see it, you're going to hit this OK button here. Hit the OK button on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. You're going to see this cursor pop up right here, okay? Now you can go here. Let's see whether or not it pops up. EV ratio, eco score. We're looking for energy monitor. So let's look on the right-hand side. And I could easily add this too. There's your energy monitor right there. So it looks like I have sufficient charge on the battery. So therefore it should allow me to actually engage this here. So if I hit that, you should see that EV pop up. There you go, right there. See it right there on the lower left-hand corner? So that means I can engage electric vehicle only up to about 25 miles per hour. Anything higher than that is beyond the capability of the battery. Now, obviously, if this were a plug-in, then it will allow me to go beyond that, but the Camry does not make it plug-in. That's only in certain models in the Toyota lineup, guys. But that allows you to actually engage that EV button up to about 25 miles per hour. So stop and go traffic, going through a parking lot, going through your neighborhood, you can actually conserve fuel just by using an EV button alone. Now this hold button here, that's going to hold your brakes in place roughly about 3 minutes. But the only prerequisites to that is your seatbelt has to be on, and the door, of course, has to be closed, which it should be anyway if the car is in gear. But that allows you to actually hold the brakes in place. So if you're in stop and go traffic, we're actually in standstill traffic, this is going to be a perfect option here rather than putting your vehicle in park, because once traffic frees up, you're going to hit that accelerator, and perhaps you forget that you're in park. You're going to go to accelerate, and your vehicle's not going to move because obviously your vehicle's in park here. The vehicle's in back of you is going to probably hit you in the back because they're anticipating that you should be going as well, and it's going to create this whole new scenario, guys. So just use this button here, and once you hit on that accelerator, then the car will actually go, okay? So just barely touch that accelerator, just press on it, and the car and the brakes will release and the car will go. Now once you come to a standstill again, of course that's going to re-engage unless you turn that off. You do have your electronic parking brakes. That's new on the 9th generation Camry, so you don't have to press it or pull it up. Anytime you put it in drive, guys, it's going to disengage. So right now you're seeing your brake right there, your parking brake right there, lower right hand side of the screen. So as I put it in drive, it disengages, put it in park, it's going to re-engage. Now let's say your vehicle doesn't do that, okay? So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and close this door. So let's see, we're going to turn that off, right? So what we're going to do to turn it off, if you don't like that, press down and hold it until you see this symbol here. Just wait for it. So it's deactivated, right? So now if I pull it up, that's going to engage it. So it's engaged, right? Now watch when I put it in drive here. See what happens. So it doesn't disengage because I've disabled the automatic disengagement. Now let's go ahead and re-engage it. So pull up on it. So if yours is not engaged, go ahead and pull up and hold it until you see activated. There we go. So now it's activated. Now if I put it back in park, I'm going to put it in drive, and there you go, guys. Now it's reactivated and it does it automatically, which is what you really want. Okay. Now in here, so plenty of space in the plenty of space in the console here. You do have a 12-volt here, so if you want to put a phone in there, you want to put an adapter in there, actually charge a phone in inside the sight, you can do that. But looking up here, you do have an automatic dimming mirror here with your home link. So basically you have 3 different spots that you can actually use for your home link here. So if you have a garage, maybe a power gate or something like that, you can actually sync those. It's a little bit easier to do that if you have a remote, guys. But if you don't, every head unit has a learn button on the back side of that, and you have to be in front of that and you basically just go through a sequence of pressing that, and it should be in your books here. So your books are going to be in your glove compartment there. It's pretty thick, but just go to home link, and if you can't figure it out, there's a support number that you can use as well. Now looking here as well, so you're going to see the same sort of pattern that you see on the doors here, kind of like an ultra suede that you see across the passenger side here. So very long sort of design here that sort of runs right into that vent and sort of integrates it right into this design here, which is nice. In the Camry, you're going to have 8 airbags, side airbags that covers the front and the rear. You're going to have an airbag here. You're going to have an airbag there. You're also going to have knee airbags on the passenger and the driver's side. And you're also going to have airbags on the side of the seats for the passenger and the driver for a total of 8. So let's check out the back seats on the Camry. So in the back here, so you do have your pockets there, which is nice. For a couple of years, we saw those disappear. We saw that disappear on the driver's side, so it's glad to see that's back. You do have your vents in the back. You see right here, you have your USB-A, your USB-C. You have your automatic windows there in the back. So it doesn't say auto, guys, but if you press that down, it goes all the way down, as you can see. Pull it up, it goes all the way up. So that's nice. So if you have young kids, guys, you're gonna have your tethers on top right there, okay? You're gonna have your anchors there at the bottom, okay? So that's on both sides, you have those. You have an armrest right here, additional cup holders. So you're gonna have some cup holders there in the bottom right there. So plenty of cup holders. Make sure you stay hydrated. And that battery is actually gonna be under the seats, guys. So therefore it maximizes that room in the back. You don't lose any space in the trunk due to that battery. So they moved that years back and they place it under the seat here. So therefore you maximize your cargo room. And it's no different between the gas model and the hybrid model when they had that previous to this version. But as I mentioned before, all your Camrys now are hybrid models. Let's check out the room in the back trunk here. On the back side of the Camry, you're gonna have 15.1 cubic feet of space here. And one of the features that I like most about the Camry is the fact that you're gonna have a full-size diameter spare back here in the back. Even though it's a hybrid, it does have your full-size diameter spare right underneath your sound deafening material. As you can see, you have your tools there, your jack and your tools to remove your tire. This is a feature that the Camry has, and I've seen it in a few other models. So this little hook here actually has functionality. So if you take this little hook here, once you pull it up, you can actually hook it on this molding here. And that's actually gonna keep this little cover out of the way. Therefore, you can easily access your tire and your tools. So this is actually gonna be your cover for your battery in the back because this is a hybrid. So therefore your battery's in the back. But anytime you jump it, you're gonna jump it from the front. Also traditional in the Camry, this carried over from the 8th generation. So if you need to fold those back seats there, you can actually pull this tab here. That's gonna fold your right one. That's your 60%. And there's your 40 right over here. You're gonna pull this one right here and that's gonna fold that seat, guys. So you can fold those individually or you can basically release those and push those together. Here's another safety feature on the Camry right here. So if you're ever trapped in the trunk, guys, that is a government mandate. And this should glow in the dark right here. So if you're ever in the trunk right here, somebody tries to really be shysty, you can actually pull this right here and it will get you in and out of that trunk, guys. So that's what that actually is. Your backup camera is standard. That's been standard since around 2014, guys. So actually Camry came out with a 14.5. That's when the backup camera became standard on the Camry model. So, and you do have a release here for the trunk here. So if you pull right under here, that will release that trunk, guys. So you don't have to necessarily pop it from the front there. So nice cargo liner with the word Camry there. So fits perfectly for this vehicle here. And once again, we add those once it comes through our port. As if you look up top, this particular model does not have a moonroof. So for the first time, you can actually get a hybrid model with a panel roof. You cannot get a regular roof in the new Camry models in the XLE and the XSE. If you want a regular moonroof, you have to go with the SE or either the LE. And that's going to be usually part of like a convenience package is when you typically see that moonroof. But this particular model, as I stated, does not have a panel roof. But you can get that as a standalone option or either with one of the packages, the Premium or the Premium Plus package. On the passenger side, if you're looking for a power seat, then you need to know that you need to go with the XLE or either the XSE model. And those are the only two models that you will actually see power seats on the passenger side. You cannot get that in the LE or the SE model. Now all your Camry models do come with this little shark fin here, simply because you have data that's being received at all times. And that's part of what they call your connected services. So that's gonna be like your Service Connect, your Safety Connect, your Service Connect. So this is our service department here. As you can see, it's one of the best service departments here in the region. That actually allows your Service Connect to sort of help you keep up with your service. And it sends a service notice whenever your service is up, so therefore they know when you know that your service is due. But it also has what they call your safety connect, very similar to OnStar. So if the airbag's deployed, guys, it automatically calls out the local authorities to make sure they're responding to your location, even if you really don't know where you are. So that's an excellent feature. That is complimentary for 10 years. So really great feature. Don't opt out on that. Make sure your salesperson registers you for that. And that is part of your safety on your vehicle, guys. So under the hood of the new 9th generation Camry, you're gonna find a 2.5 four-cylinder engine here that's gonna give you 225 horsepower in your front wheel drive and 232 in your all-wheel drive. And for the first time, you can actually get an all-wheel drive in all your Camry models, the LE, SE, XSE, and the XLE model. Now, as I mentioned before, you do not have your battery here. Your battery is actually in the back, but where you're gonna jump your vehicle, you're gonna take this cover off here, and you're gonna find your red lead right there under there, which is your positive here. You're gonna find this positive under there, and you're gonna attach your ground to one of these screws here, guys. So that's how you're actually gonna jump your vehicle. You don't have to open your trunk up and everything. Let's say if your trunk is full or something like that. Obviously, you have to take all that stuff out. So pop that hood, find your red lead right here, and put your ground right there on that one of those screws right there, and you should be able to jump your vehicle. Now with the gas mileage, you see right here, you have 47 miles combined. You have 48 for your city and 47 for your highway. So this vehicle is very economical. So you're not gonna see a huge discrepancy between your city and your highway. Now on this model here, as I stated before, this is a base model. However, you do have your Toyo Guard, and that's gonna help you with 2 additional years that you already get from your Toyota Care, which you can actually use from here to the West Coast, Canada and US territories, and that is gonna be valid, guys. That's gonna give you 2 years or 25,000 complimentary maintenance, and the 2 years unlimited miles for your roadside assistance. But guys, that is your 2025 Camry XLE. This is a base model. As I stated before, you can get a premium package added to that. That's gonna get into things like your pano roof. You're gonna get your heated and ventilated seats. Your heated seats being standard, it's gonna add your ventilated seats. You can get into your heads-up display once you go to the Premium Plus package. Your sensors on the front, you're gonna see that. A driver attention alert, traffic jam assist, all those things are available in those packages, one of those 2 of those packages, guys. But once again, guys, this is the Reservoir Blue, one of my favorite colors. Blue is my favorite color, and I know it's possibly your favorite color as well, guys. But just wanted to give you a quick look of the Camry XLE and just how great this car looks. Thanks for joining me in reviewing the 2025 9th generation Camry XLE in Reservoir Blue. If you guys have any questions, please leave those in the comments. But guys, thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate you guys. Find me right here on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at Andre Drives, but also on my latest account at Blue Sky. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys next time right here at Andre Drives.